country's population continues to grow, so does the demand for land and space for human settlement and farming. It is against this background that more and more people living in urban centers such as Kampala are turning to urban farming as a solution that will accommodate the lack of space for urban farmers. Coming up on Seeds of Gold.
In urban farming, you creatively use what you have. I'll give an example. As an urban farmer, my biggest constraint is the space. My biggest constraint is the land. And so what I do, I use polythene bags, I use flower pots, I use sacks to grow in my plants to make sure that I'm cutting the expenses in the home.
Urban farming is a kind of farming practiced mainly in urban centers on small pieces of land such as a backyard or a veranda. Professor Nambatya is the co-founder of Kwagala Farm, a model urban farm to many urban farmers. Seeds of Gold tours with her as she elaborates the need for urban farming and how you too can benefit.
Kwagala Farm started on March 9th, 2010. And when we started Kwagala Farm, our objective was to cut expenses in the home. Our biggest challenge was to make ends meet. And so we started urban farming, or we started farming on a small garden of half an acre to make sure that we're making ends meet. We're not buying everything. We're not buying tomatoes or onions, but we're growing what we want to eat. And so when we started, our objective was cutting the expenses in the home. What did we do? Because Kwagala Farm is on half an acre, and that half acre includes the home, the best thing that we needed to do was to creatively use the spaces that we had. And so we started from our lawns. We used the flower pots that I used to have in flowers. I removed the flowers and put on onions. And then we started vertical farming. As you can see, the strawberries where we're growing and moving up because of the little space that we had. In urban farming, you creatively use what you have. I'll give an example. As an urban farmer, my biggest constraint is the space. My biggest constraint is the land. And so what I do, I use polythene bags, I use flower pots, I use sacks to grow in my plants to make sure that I'm cutting the expenses in the home. Urban farming really focuses on using your backyard to make sure that you're feeding your home healthy, feeding on things that you know, but also making sure that you're able to save some little money so that you're not spending out of the pocket.
As urban farming focuses on maximizing the small space one has, it is advised to venture more into accommodative crops such as vegetables, spices, bird and animal rearing.
We all know very well that healthy eating requires eating vegetables not once a week, not twice a week, but an urban farmer should consider eating vegetables as a daily meal. The way you eat food and maybe sauce, that's the same thing when it comes to eating vegetables. And so one thing that an urban farmer can do is making sure that they have vegetables grown in the home, and the vegetables can be grown in sacks, they can be grown in polythene bags, they can be grown in pots, but making that intention that I'm going to use my small space to make sure that I have vegetables in the home. Vegetables, almost many varieties of the vegetables, take not more than 3 to 4 months, and so it's one thing that you can do in terms of time. It's top notch, but also it goes so quickly, and then you can be able to harvest and feed the family. So on Kwagala Farm, you'll find over 10 vegetables. We do sukuma wiki, we do nakati, we do buga, we do amaranthus, what people call dodo. We also have spinach. We do salads like lettuce, both red and green. But beyond the vegetables, we also do spice farming, where we have about 10 varieties of spices. We also have, beyond the spices, we also do the chicken, we do the cows. When we're to sell, like say the spices, we don't sell them in spice form. No. What we do, we get the spices, we dry them organically, and then after drying them in a solar dryer, we pound them. Some of them we do extractions, and then we pack in small tins of different ginger spices.
The beauty of urban farming starts with everything small that you have to begin with. Even for as low as 1,500 shilling for a sachet of seedlings from Container Village in Kampala, an enthusiastic farmer is ready to start a farm.
When we started in 2010, our capital was 1,500 Uganda shillings. What did we use that for? The 1,500 Uganda shillings is money we got to buy a sacket of tomatoes. And so I went to Container Village, sort of trying to say, after we had a conversation with my husband of saying, we need to cut expenses in the home. So when we buy this sacket of tomatoes, we come and then pour it in a nursery bed. After pouring it in a nursery bed, the whole story continues from transplanting, after transplanting, to putting it on raised sort of like obuzo kubuli nisa, and then from that the tomatoes coming, because by then financially we were not doing very well. Instead of going to buy pesticides, I used to mix muluruza, mwetango and shigaji to spray the tomatoes. I need to be honest that back then it's not what I wanted, but it's because I didn't have the money. And so that set me on a journey of organic farming.
Laban shows us how to make organic fertilizer and herbs.
What I'm going to do, I want to show you how I make organic medicine for animals. Yeah, what I do, I will get aloe vera, metango, muluruza and tobacco. Then what I do, I will do this. I will cut aloe vera into small pieces like this. Then after cutting aloe vera into small pieces, so I will get also muluruza. What I do, I will remove leaves like this one. After removing, I will brush it like this. Then I will put it in the bucket like this one. Then after, I will get mwetango. Then also I will remove some branches. This one, it has small leaves, but I will remove branches like this one. Then after, I will also press it like this one, how I am doing. Then after, I will get leaves for tobacco. This is a tobacco. Then also I will press it like this. After, I will pour water. After pouring water, I will mix it. The way how I am doing like this one. That's how I do. Yeah.
Without over-researching from all the literature available on farming these days, Professor Diana says that one can start with the local knowledge acquired from their upbringing, just like she did.
The one thing I'd tell a farmer is to start with what they have and to start where we are. In urban farming, we start with what we have. In urban farming, you don't need to say, I'll go and get a loan or I'll borrow money. No. You simply look at a spoiled polythene, you look at a cadea for sugar, and then you start there. And so by starting there, you learn on this journey. You're challenged on this journey, and you thrive on that journey. I also know that one of the principles of entrepreneurs, very successful entrepreneurs, will tell you they start small. So when you hear people saying, I've not yet gotten capital, that is just an excuse. You need to start small and grow big.
Turning on your world.
Mama Angel, the school doesn't want you one cocoa, just want school fees, okay?
Mr. Basa, head up me. I'll bring money next week.
Nyabo, let me give you free advice, okay? Take back that in cocoa. Do what I did. Issues of school fees. Because Blue Band.
Bikwase Blue Band is back, and it's bigger and better. With over 300 million shillings in school fees and instant prizes to be won, you can be a winner. Just buy a 250 gram, 500 gram, or a 1 kilogram tub of Blue Band with omega-3 and 6. Scratch the panel and what you see is what you win. Blue Band, the only spread with omega-3 and 6.
I'm blazing more. I sent one SMS and I got this TV. I threw the drawers, 5 people. I want the screen, keep drinking Pepsi, you get prizes. I feel okay, I feel happy. One soda and then you get a screen. I advise them to take soda and win some prizes because all the 5 guys walk out with a present. It's a very good thing.
As you approach Kwagala Farm located in Kulambiro Chisasi, the visible urban farms belonging to the neighboring homes alert and lead you to the amazing professor's own urban farm. In fact, this is what you would call an urban village. We later learn that Professor Dana has helped members of her community and other areas adopt urban farming as a means of survival.
You're welcome to Kwagala Demo Garden. Why is it called the Kwagala Demo Garden? It is a garden for almost a community. It trains the women who are not having money to come and train with us at home. This was made for the villagers, like women in the village who have no time to come at home to get training there. So when they get time, we built it with chain link so that everyone can come from out and stand from out and learn through the chain link without even bringing someone to train him. So every Wednesday, Mama Winnie, the one you have seen behind there, comes with her own women. They call Rabban to open for them. He starts training them what to do. This is a walkway. It is like a compound in the front of your house. If you have a compound in the front of your house, this is what you can do. You make a walkway, you make some different gardens inside and in the compound. We have types of gardening like sycamore, food tower, kitchen gardening, box gardening. This is one type of a garden which you can do in your compound. It's called a food tower. A food tower is put in a place where you have a small space that you can grow many crops on the food tower. You can grow many plants of squash on the food tower. It can help at home to feed your home and you sell some. This food tower stands in a square it is 3 square meters, but it can contain more than the food which can be in 10 square meters. Like it can carry 60 plants of skuma wichi, more than 200 plants of spring onions. So you can still sell. You sell when the spring onion is bent like this, you can sell like in our place, we sell this of 2,000. So here you can sell 2,000 every day, and you can sell these leaves, each 100. So you can see now how much money you're having on one plant, 2 plants, 3 plants, 3, 4 plants. You can now collect 10,000 per week. If you're a woman, you do that at your home, you will never lack rice, cooking oil, and sugar. So this is a box garden. This is another type of a garden. This one helps you in case it is your compound and you have children who play around. They have food, I mean they play their football. They can't come and play inside here. They can be playing around outside there. But now we have utilized this place to show you that in case there are no children who want to play around, you can see your compound, design your compound like this, so that you harvest your food. You harvest your fruits for your kitchen in a very small space. You can, every plant has this one, as you can see here. So 3 plants can feed the whole family in this kind of sauce. Already you have got your spring onions, you have got your skumawichi, you have got these fruits, you can still feed your family. We have more plants in this garden. Banana plant looks like I can walk like 10 banana plants. As this banana, if it yields properly, it will yield the product of many plants, only one. How? We feed it with this one. This is chicken waste. We just tie chicken waste, we dig something near the banana 2 feet deeper, 2 feet across, 2 feet across. So that when water comes from rain, washes this urea from this chicken waste, the banana, to feed the banana. That's why you look at it is strong. You have to leave it with 2 other young ones, like as you can see. This is another type of food tower. It is cheaper because the other food tower was expensive because you can't easily get that sat, that net. Here we use logs and this wire mesh, bird's mesh. You plant your logs inside in the center, you pour stones. After pouring stones, you make these logs stand outside 1 feet from the center. You put a mesh around these logs, you pour soil. Now, as I was counting for you 60 plants of skuma, which now you can see it properly. Each log has 8 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9.
As we started training the women, we took the deliberate effort to say, let's reach out to community. And our first community was the Kulambiro community. We also reached out to the women in Chiruga, in Luero. So we sort of started now connecting with communities where we thought we could support people to do similar things. And so what happened was that when we started training the women, it not only opened Kwagala Farms opportunities, it also created what we call our impact. When you walk through our village here, women are farming, very small spaces, but they really show you how far we've come. So how far Kwagala Farm has gone is the work that the women have taken on. Beyond that, we've received a number of awards. In 2015, we received the award by the Netherlands Embassy, DFC, UKLM, and the Vision Group. In 2016, we were given a global award called the American Express Again Leadership Award. This is the first time this award is being given in Africa and to a woman. And then in 2017, we were given the Women Champion Award by the Private Sector Foundation. But with these awards, we've also had the opportunities to sort of like establish mentors. So when we started our skilling program in 2011, 2012, we were really training these women on our own. really using our corporate social responsibility fund as Kwagala Farm to make sure that we support our training program. But we later got support from the World Bank that was beginning last year in that they pay for the training of the women. Beyond that, we've received also an additional donor called AFSI Sky, who really focuses on skilling young people below the age of 35.
Dodo, ekipakukiwali, amapaapaali, ensuju zino muziraba. Ensuju omulaba nkirima awo ennimi awo. N'endala zino zikyali nto. Kati ndima n'ekasooli. Neekola ki? Bwe mala okumulima n'akaba. N'emwanika, n'enfumba. Era n'omulamusa awo ndi mu kufumba. N'esibanga ng'akazi n'emusiba bw'eki. N'enguza ab'amasomero n'Okwagala Farm etwalako. Kati ebivudde kasooli nkola ki? Ente zibitwala, ente nazo zibirya ebyakasooli ebibiraba. Mumanuka mulabye ono oba omulaba omiki abayindi bamulya nnyo enakasero. N'ebinyala bino ab'essomero bagira orders nebabitwala. Nimapapali gago amalagalieni ebitooke bwentyo bwenkola. Enkota nene nnyo kino ekitooke ky'omulaba. Sipesi ntono nnyo naye ekyakompaani nagamba akanteekewo ebyokulya. Ate nga sipesi mukala akuti mpaka eri kakomeeri mpaka eri sipesi kakomeeri ekyakomeza abantu ntekawo mpaka eri oyo mwogo naye esimako n'esiika abantu ne bamulya oyo mwogo.
In our next episode, we'll look at how Dr. Diana is using her cows not only for milk, but for something bigger, biocelery, a byproduct from cow wastes, which she demonstratively acknowledges as her biggest income on the farm.
NTV, turning on your world.
Prudential, with over 170 years of existence. Don't worry about your child's future education. Be happy with True EduSave and let's face life together. Tulinawi. Prudential.
Financial literacy brought to you by NTV, PwC, and DFCU Bank.
When you are investing, the money you put aside for investing, you must be very careful that you put in investment money after you have taken care of your subsistence. Why investments group die is because I earn her decay. Then that money, I put it in an investment group, but it will be the money I'll be needing to pay rent, school fees, eat, and all that. This is where we go wrong. Put money in an investment group that you have saved after taking care of. I want you to think of like a pension plan. When you start in your investment group, think of, I'll be retiring at 50, at 55. What is it that I want to do so that it goes beyond, takes care of my retirement, takes care of succession, takes care of my kids? These are very, very important aspects. Endeavor to create a company for wealth purposes and for growing. These are very, very important.
Financial literacy was brought to you by NTV, PwC, and DFCU Bank. DFCU Bank is regulated by the Central Bank of Uganda.
When I started out, all I had was my dreams. I believe that every man deserves his own home. I got myself a mortgage from Housing Finance Bank and I built this house. I say house because it only became a home when she came into the picture. Like me, she believed we had to build our future. We had a child and needed to open a Total Treasures account. My wife's farming business was boosted with a Housing Finance Agribusiness loan. My friend Brian was so inspired. He took out a salary loan and started his own hardware. The thing is, people know Housing Finance Bank to be the most reliable mortgage bank. So did I. Housing Finance has done more than help me build a house. It helped and is still helping us build a future as a family. Housing Finance Bank. We make it easy.
Housing Finance Bank is regulated by the Bank of Uganda.
This is NTV. This program is rated PG. It is suitable for children ages 8 and above, but parental guidance is advised as it might contain mild violence and mature situations.